I'm Amanda from Mandy Lynn Plans. Welcome back to another video. Today is part 2 of the A5 Planner Showdown, and here I have the Hobonichi Cousin and the Common Planner by Sterling Ink. I can't wait to show you all the details about how these planners are similar and different. I feel like I should mention that here I'm comparing the prettiest Hobonichi Cousin to the Common Planner. The Hobonichi Cousin doesn't have the best looking covers until they released the Han for A5, which is the hardback version of their A5 planner. So, just wanted to get that out there. They aren't all this pretty. Also wanted to mention, if you missed my other video, Common Planner A5 does come in more options. I have the compact, and I'll explain some more of those changes later, but this is not the only version of the A5 Common Planner. Okay, so we're just gonna dive in and we're gonna sort of just go page by page. So here on the Hobonichi Cousin, you can see that the first page with writing is the yearly pages. And then for the Common Planner, this is the yearly spread. So the biggest difference here with the Hobonichi Cousin, you have the full 2024 on the left side. Sterling, it's on the right side. And then the Hobonichi Cousin, you have the bonus of the last year and then next year. To be completely honest, I don't use these. Kind of one of those, I guess it's nice to have, but not needed things. So it's not a deal breaker to me that the Common Planner does not include those. Then flipping up, so we have the yearly index here in the Hobonichi Cousin. And for the Common Planner, we have kind of a blank spread. I have seen people use these for their annual vision board or other creative outlets. And then we turn, and then we have a goal breakdown in the Common Planner. So we have someday, 1 year, half year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. So here you can track out your goals. And then we turn and we get something that's similar to the Hobonichi Cousin's yearly index pages. So we have a Q1 spread where you have a spot for your priorities, and then January, February, and March. And then you also have this layout that's kind of like the Cousin. Very similar in layout. So we have the month name across the top. We have a little gap. On the Cousin, you get 3 little check marks. And then you have a line where you have the day of the week and the date. And then you kind of have this blank spot at the bottom. So very similar. An obvious difference is the amount of color that the Hobonichi Cousin has versus the Common Planner. The Common Planner across the board is a much more minimal layout. So then we're gonna flip, and we have one of these for all 4 quarters. So these are gonna look the same. It's nice that she pairs her priority and goal pages with the yearly index, and the Cousin here is just 1 quarter per page, and that's all you get. And then it goes right into the monthlies. So here for the Common Planner, here's Q4, and then flip, and we have the monthlies. So both planners include the extra month, which is the month of the previous year. So here we have December of 2023. They are both monthly start calendars. Not a lot of planners have a Monday start monthly calendar. A lot of them have a Monday start weekly, but not all have a Monday start monthly. So if that's a deal breaker for you, that's good to know up front. There are sticker kits and things that you can buy from our shop even if you want to turn your monthly into a Sunday start, but just printed, they are a Monday start. The sizing is slightly different on these boxes and grids. To the naked eye, it's hard to tell a difference. Just take my word for it, there is a difference. Then through the Hobonichi Cousin, they give you March, January, February, March of the next year. So for 2025, and then for the Common Planner, you get January of 2025. So a couple extra months in the Hobonichi Cousin. If that is important to you, that is a difference to note. Then after that monthly, we do have a weekly spread. Now I already used this for an example picture. So I'm gonna flip to the next blank page here to explain. The Common Planner also moves directly into the weeklies. So we have January 1, which started on a Monday this year, which is not normal. Often what happens is that you have the very end of the previous, so maybe December 31 and 30, and then you have January 1st. But in 2024, Monday starts, so it was beautiful. So very similar spreads here. So we have a spot where it says the month, then we have a little mini calendar. They're both circled the week that it is. You can see that there's some color here in the Hobonichi Cousin. There's sidebars, just the same. A big difference is that the Hobonichi Cousin timeline goes from 5 a.m. to 4 a.m. So it is a full 24-hour timeline. I like that it doesn't start at midnight at the top. That's really nice. And for people who have later shifts, I feel like they did a good job of breaking up the day. On the Common Planner, it is from 6 a.m. to midnight. And then if you need more timeline, you can add it. If you don't need the timeline, then you can use this spot for something else. To-do lists or extra decoration. You can see up at the top for the numbering. They both have the number and then an abbreviated day of the week. So number and then mon. The Hobonichi cousin, even though this is the English version, it does include that little Japanese symbol as well. So if those bother you, then maybe Common Planner is for you. Another difference here is the color. Like I said, the Hobonichi cousin adds more color than the Common Planner. So here you can see those shaded weekends. They also shade them on holidays. So sometimes you'll get a shaded day over here as well. Another big difference is that the Common Planner this year does not have a line dividing up the days. So in the cousin, you can see it's a dark line and then the time is kind of shifted and it takes up a grid space. Here in Catherine's design, she wanted to keep it minimal. She wanted to make sure that if you were going to change up, if maybe you were going to divide yours horizontally instead of vertically, that you would have an easy way of making that happen. And by doing this, it also makes your writing space in the grids, in the columns, a little bit wider, since she didn't take one of these grids for the numbers. Personally, I like the clean, crisp lines that the Hobonichi cousin provides. This a little too chaotic maybe, instead of it all being centered after a crisp edge. This just looks a little messy in my brain. So I personally prefer the Hobonichi cousin version of the weekly layout minus the color. I don't really like that they have the color, and often I cover it up with stickers anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let me show you quickly again what it looks like with stickers. Much better. So then flipping back after all 52 weeks, here we flip, and then in the Common Planner, it begins the blank notebook page section of the planner. Now, these are beautiful. They have no writing on them except for a little page number. Of all the planners that I'm going to compare in this mini series, these are my favorite back pages. This is where it matters what kind of version of Common Planner you have. If you have the full year Common Planner, then you get 370 of these blank pages in the back. If you have the half year, which is like the avec, where you have 6 months in one book and 6 months in another book, there are 184 of these blank pages in the back of each of those books. And then here in this A5 compact, there are 121 blank pages. So this is the thinnest book of the Common Planners. And then for comparing, just to show you the rest of the Hobonichi cousin, there's this page that says turning the page to a new year. It has a couple of monthlies down at the bottom. I've seen a lot of people use this for the vision board, similar to how I showed you that maybe with the Common Planner, they use it at the beginning. A lot of people who use the cousin use it in this area. And then we turn and we get to the dated daily pages. There are a lot of differences between these. And let me just remind you that the Common Planner has no printing, no coloring, except for the page number. So the Hobonichi cousin here has the dated dailies, one for every single day. And then there's this blank page at the beginning of each month. It has the month name, a little bit of shading. Each month is a different color of grid. A lot of people like that. A lot of people don't. It's not really my preference. You have the month, the date, the day of the week, and then the moon phase, and then what day it is of the whole year. So this is day 1, obviously, of the year. And then February is a different color. Then we have March, which is this pretty purple. April, they're all set up the same. There's all these grid section, small timeline. There's a couple of check boxes up at the top. There's the quotes at the bottom. If you have the Japanese version, they're in Japanese. If you have the English version, they're in English. There's this little mini calendar down in the corner. And then let's keep flipping so that we can see the colors for each month. That might be a deal breaker for you. You might love it. I really like the July color. I wish they were all, if they were going to pick one color, I wish it would all be the July color. August isn't too bad either, but some of these, some of them just aren't my favorite. The November one is also very pretty. Okay, and then December is this bright one. And then in the back, after you flip to December 31, you do have a handful, a very small handful of blank grid pages. So not very many at all. And then you get into their reference pages, and some of these are very helpful and some of them are completely useless to me personally. So flipping through just so you can see some of what these look like. I don't usually do much with these. Most of them are usually useless. So I hope you enjoyed this in-depth comparison of the Hobonichi Cousin and the A5 Common Planner by Sterling Ink. I would love to know your thoughts on these two planners down below. Do you use one or the other? I personally use the Hobonichi Cousin, although I like a lot of the design elements better in the Common Planner, just not all of them. Let me know down in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.